Yes, lads. Yes. Friday night. Let's talk about boxing. We're getting back into the swing of things. All right. We are getting back into the swing of things. All right. We had a bit of an off week by my standards. All right. Bit of an off week by my standards this week. But lads, we are back, man. We got shit to talk about, man. Let's get this chat. Let's get this chat filling up a bit. All right. We get a few people in here. And we talk about boxing. We talk about some of the fights that are on this weekend. We talk about Frank Sanchez. He's on this week, Ortiz on this week, amongst others, lads, amongst others. Let's see. We got 9 in the chat so far. Smash the like button on your way in. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everybody in the chat. You know I've got Deontay Wilder on the thumbnail, right? Or thumb drive, right? His nemesis from the amateurs is fighting this weekend. Evgeny Romanov. He's fighting Sergey Lahovich tomorrow. It's going to be... I wonder if we can get that card over here. Because that card in Russia, right? There's a couple of fighters on there that I'm very interested in, right? There's 2 fights in particular, right? That Evgeny Romanov guy, the guy who knocked out Wilder in the amateurs. Him against Lahovich. That's all right. Then we have a guy, a cruiserweight called, again, Evgeny Tsenenko, I think is how you pronounce this guy's name. He is fighting an English guy by the name of John McCallum. Now, John McCallum is a fighter I've heard of. He's a fighter I've seen. If anyone has ever heard of, what's the guy's name? Leon McKenzie, the footballer. He fought John McCallum back 5 or 6 years ago. And that John McCallum's a right little scumbag, by the way. He's a right little scumbag. Because he was making fun of a load of his mental health issues and shit like that. So he's fighting Evgeny Tsenenko tomorrow, a cruiserweight. Considering he fought, what's the guy's name? He fought, what's the guy's name? I just said his name, Leon McKenzie at flipping, I think it was super middleweight. Man, he is reaching for the weights. He is going to get his ass kicked. So let's have a look. Let's see who's in the chat, right? Hashtag GMANSROCKS. Yes. That better be trending. We're getting that back trending. Fuck it. Hashtag GMANSROCKS. Big up G-Man. Friday night sorted. Yeah. Helen. Good evening, G-Man. Hope you're well. I'm fucking brilliant, man. I'm all G. Yes, I'm all G. I'm doing well today. I'm good. I'm all good. You got Joe. Always great to hear from you. Man, always great to see all you lads in the chat. Man, always good. We got Buzzy. Sup, G-Man. Tommy. Big up every single time. Dan, yes. Johan versus Smith off. And then we have, this is the one, man, Dan, I'm telling you now, right? If that fight happens, right, then I'm picking Avanesyan to win. Dan, it's been 2 years they've been trying to put that fight on. And every single time, it's always been Kelly who's pulled out. It's always been his team who pulled out, right? Remember when they weighed in? They literally weighed in on the Bellew-Usyk undercard, right? And yeah, it was the Bellew-Usyk undercard. And we got to pull out at the last minute. So I'm not holding my breath. I mean, Kelly is not I don't think he's ever looked good, Josh Kelly. So I'm not exactly holding my breath that he's going to do, that he's even going to fight Avanesyan. I'm reckoning something like they're going to probably announce the fight, right? But what will happen is it probably be at welterweight. I can see something like this happening, that basically they just decide at the end, like last minute or coming up to the fight, that Kelly can't make the weight or something. He's going to campaign at 154. I reckon something like that will happen. That's what I reckon is going to happen. Something like that. But if it does happen, man, Avanesyan, he's going to starch him. Like Avanesyan, when he stepped to world level, he lost to Peterson. He struggled against Shane Mosley and over the hill Shane Mosley. But I reckon he has enough in the tank to get rid of Josh Kelly, or at least beat him. Povetkin in hospital. So they say anyway, but I mean, God only knows. God only knows. G-Man, aren't we going to see your beautiful... Well, you're going to see it now in a sec. I never go on camera. Well, I do go on camera all the time, but I'm going to go on now in a minute. I'm just going to ease it in. I like to talk about some of these fights that we have upcoming. And I'm looking here. I meant to say it to you, right? It's looking likely In fact, we'll bring the camera on now. We got 20 in the chat, right? It's looking likely that we're going to get Hughie Fury on the undercard of, I think, AJ Pulev. I mean, that's a fucking stinker. He's always in flipping stinkers. I'm just making sure the camera looks okay. It's not lagging. He's always in flipping stinkers, that Hughie Fury lad, right? So we're getting him on the AJ. We're likely getting him on the AJ Pulev undercard, right? You know we're going to get Dave Allen on one of those cards as well. We might even, he's going to be out soon. Eddie Hearn ain't going to hold that lad up. And I'm dying to see who they're going to put him in there with. I'm dying to see who they're going to put him in there with. Well, we got, yeah, you got Avanesyan too. We tend to agree a lot on some of these fights, Dan. I'm thinking Avanesyan, would he stop him? I mean, put it like this, right? When he beat Kerman Lara, I think how you pronounce it, at the time, I would have picked Lara to beat Kelly at 154 or 147. So if he's going in there and he's starching him, then I don't hold that much hope. Kelly's too easy to counter, and he's nowhere near as slick as he thinks he is. I don't think he hits hard enough for that style. Like, I mean, look at it like this, right? Look at Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson ain't a puncher. He felt some of Kelly's shots and was like, and Ray Robinson ain't nothing special. And Ray Robinson was all over him like a bad smell, because Ray Robinson was like, oh, this guy can't punch. He's nowhere near as slick as he thinks he is. And Josh Kelly is just, he's like the typical Adam Boo fighter. He just wants to be flashy. So can't see him. We got Nick in there. Salute G-Man and the chat. Big up every time. Smash the like button on the way in, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hashtag King of Rip Jeans. I'm gonna say it to you, man. I'm gonna let you know now. Wait there. I'm bringing this back. Putting it in the chat. I've already seen it in the chat once. I'm bringing this back. You know, it never went away. We're keeping that. That's what people know me as now. Hashtag GMANSROCKS. Every time. Every fucking time. Canelo Alvarez, a free agent. Hope he fights Billy Joe Saunders. Who was it? Someone said it. I'm not sure who it was, right? But they said that he might be a free agent with the... No, he might be a free agent from Golden Boy, but not necessarily the Zone. I think I seen that on Discord somewhere. That just because he's a free agent with just because he's a free agent with Golden Boy, he could still be locked into the Zone. So we have to wait and see how that plays out. If that's the case, then Billy Joe, look, I wouldn't mind seeing him and Billy Joe next, right? I wouldn't put a penny on Billy Joe winning, not a hope, but fuck it. I tell you now, I'm not looking forward to him against Murray. Him against Martin Murray, that is going to be a hell of a... Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to that. Because I think that Murray, he's seen better days. He's definitely seen better days. And, Billy Joe, give him a bit of inactivity. Whenever he's in activity, he's always looking shocking. When he's not motivated, I don't think he will be fully for this fight. He's going to look shocking. We're going to see an absolute... I don't think we're going to see a good Billy Joe at all. I think he needs a Canelo to get the best out of him. BG man's rocks, you little prick. You're putting it down there, Dan. I'll screenshot that and save that for future reference, just in case. So I know you're doing it. Let's go, G man, every time, man. Kelly was showboating against Robinson. Yeah, he was. He's a little. Do you know what it is? What is it about these new fighters? Some of these like new lads that come out, they're little divas. So they are. Like, you look at Ryan Garcia. I like Ryan Garcia. He's a good fighter, but he's a little diva. You know, Adele would have a feel out of that. That's why I love looking at Dale's videos, because like the Edwards brothers, he will call them out for what they are. You know, guys like Kelly's not as bad as the Edwards brothers. I mean, they're fuck me. Jesus, lad. You can say what you want about my hair, yeah, being up, but fuck, man. When I saw Sonny Edwards go out that time with the hair and the thing, oh my God, I was worried. I was like, Jesus, those boys, there's something not right there with them lads. Avanesyan seems to improve as he's gotten older. Maybe it's a confidence thing. I think it is. I think what happened with Avanesyan was he was chucked in at the deep end. You know, he got a win over the hill Shane Mosley, barely. And then he was chucked in with like Peterson. I don't think he was ever ready for it. So I think now he's gone back down to European level, because he's about a European level fighter, and he's doing well for himself. You know, he's been in the away corner a few times, looked good in it. His last fight was on a Matchroom card. Because Matchroom Europe done one of them shows in Spain, and he got a first round knockout. He looked quite good in that fight. You know, Avanesyan at European level looks really good. He looks really good. When he steps up to world level, meh. He was stopped by that Lithuanian guy whose name I can't pronounce, the guy who fought Crawford. Stopped him, or he was stopped by him. Lost to Peterson. Avanesyan is a solid, very solid European. He'd be a bit like Sergio Garcia. All right, Sergio Garcia is European level, but he hasn't quite made the jump to world level yet. But he is a big, big problem for any of these British level guys at European level. But can they trouble anyone at world level? I think Garcia might. Sergio Garcia, man, that lad has an engine on him. What's your breakdown? What is your breakdown if AJ ever fought Wilder? I really want to know your opinion. Honestly, right, I think that would be a real. I think we'd be hyped for it, but I could see both guys having a real defensive negative start. I don't think we'd see any big shots until at least the 5th or 6th round at all. I think actually you might even hear boos because both guys will be wary of the other guy's power. I think Josh would be more wary of Wilder, although Wilder wouldn't want to engage with AJ because AJ is very good on the inside. And I think both guys would be very respectful of one another's power, and they wouldn't want to look for an opener. I think Joshua would be more respectful of Wilder because Wilder is he's lightning quick with that right hand. And Joshua, knowing that he was dropped by Klitschko and knowing that was a quick right hand that dropped him by Klitschko, and knowing that Wilder's right hand is probably more powerful and even quicker. And if he gets dropped by Wilder, if he gets up, Wilder's going to absolutely go in there and steamroll him. Wilder, on the other hand, he's a lot lighter than AJ. So if AJ buzzed Wilder and he really went to put it on him, he could ragdoll Wilder up and down the ring. Whereas with Klitschko was able to grab on. He was able to survive in the 5th round when he got dropped. Klitschko physically strong as well, so it's different. If I had to pick, right, I would. Well, right now at this minute in time, AJ, right. But if we're talking about both guys in 2018 when the fight was originally offered, I'd have picked Deontay Wilder to win, right? Because I think that Wilder wasn't damaged. Because this Wilder, I think, is just damaged. It's damaged beyond belief, you know? So that's my thought on that. I think that right now, AJ wins. But if we're talking about 2018, I would have given it to Wilder. Having said that, I wouldn't rule Wilder out of winning. No way. You can't. Even though I think Wilder's going to get absolutely smashed by Tyson Fury in the trilogy fight, if it happens, there's no way you can just look at Wilder and think, okay, there's not a chance, because he has power that the average heavyweight has power, but then there's Deontay Wilder, and I mean, he has that eraser. He has that eraser. Devin, I will never lose to a white man, Haney. You know, he's jinxed himself. He's jinxed himself with that. That's what, when I heard that, I didn't do any videos on it, but when I heard that, I just thought, you've jinxed yourself. I said, if and when you lose, because I think Haney will lose, I was thinking you've jinxed yourself with that. You know, you've just jinxed yourself with that. And it's funny the way the LDBC, they were all ridiculing Haney when he signed with Eddie Hearn. And once he made that statement, he was their new poster boy. Shows the jokers there. G-Man. Hashtag GMANSROCKS, Nick. Hashtag GMANSROCKS every time. You're lucky to see him spar Billy Joe. Oh, wow. I'd love to see, seeing fighters sparring is always fun. I love when you watch fighters sparring, you really get an indication of where they're at in terms of their skill. But the problem is, right, you can get a lot of fighters who are gym fighters. I've seen that myself. A lot of fighters where you see them in the gym, you just think to yourself, you're like, you could beat anyone. Literally in your respective weight division, you could probably beat anybody. But then you see them in the ring, the cameras are on, the lights are on, it's just a different atmosphere. And they're just, it's like the occasion gets to them. They're fighting within themselves, all that. But you see them in the gym, you're just like, you could beat anyone. You know, you could beat absolutely anyone. Garcia, hard hitter. Danny Garcia is respectable. He's got very respectable power. But at world level, How many knockouts does he have at world level? At least at welterweight. He's got what? He knocked out Khan at 140, but that's a mere Khan though. In terms of welterweights, who was he knocked out? In terms of decent welterweights, I mean, he knocked out Brandon Rios. I mean, Brandon Rios should have retired 5 years ago, right? So we don't mind that. He's over the hill. He's over the flipping hill, Brandon Rios. He knocked out that Granadas guy, Adrian Granadas. He hasn't really. Who is he knocked out? Like, he's respectable power, Danny Garcia. Errol Spence is not going to want to leave his chin out. He sure as hell ain't going to want to do that. But in terms of world level, I've never been. I think Danny Garcia tries to oversell his power. You know, whenever you hear him talk, he's always like, "Oh, once I catch you, it's over." I'm always like, "Nah, man." I think Danny Garcia is good in the back foot. He's good when a fighter comes at him and he can look devastating. But when he has to go looking for someone as well, I don't see it. And I think him against Spence is going to be interesting. All right, it's going to be very interesting. I'm not giving Danny Garcia enough credit. Maybe I think he can do good work, but I'm thinking Spence. If Spence has anything left following the car crash, he should be okay to beat Danny. He'll box probably like he did against Mikey. Although Danny is going to be obviously going to be more competitive than Mikey because he's a natural 147 pounder, unlike Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is really a 140 pounder who just, for whatever reason, wants to campaign at 147. All right, we got how many in the chat? 32 people in the chat and 22 likes. So smash the like button if we haven't already. All right, big up everyone. Martin Murray's seen better days when he fought. Oh yeah, he looked terrible in that fight. Did you remember that fight? He won good round where George Groves looked a bit shaky, and that was it. Other than that, he looked terrible. And 168, he was never a 168 pounder because after that fight he went back down to middleweight. I think he had one fight at 168 pounds, and he went straight back down to middleweight. So Martin Murray, his last real good performance was against Arthur Abraham. And he lost that fight. It was a close fight, but I think that Abraham won the fight. And think of it like this, right? If, say, Martin Murray had won that fight, he would have had to fight Zudo Ramirez next. That could have ended very badly. Because I rate Ramirez. Even now, I rate him quite highly. Martin Murray in 2017 or 2016 versus Ramirez, I think that could have ended very badly for Martin Murray. Very badly. Good news, Josh Taylor. He deserves it. Big up Josh Taylor. Man, big up Josh Taylor. He is a standout guy. If you've ever seen him on Twitter, you can just tell he is a stand-up guy, Josh Taylor. Really, really is. Really switched on. I never met the guy, but he seems like a stand-up guy, Josh Taylor. You know, if you go and see his tweets and stuff like that, you'll get it. He's a he's a stand-up guy, Josh Taylor. I think you're right. I'd have to agree, Graham Taylor. I think Josh Taylor is the best fighter in the UK. I have to agree with that. I think Josh Taylor is Josh Taylor, to my shame, and it is to my shame. I did think when the fight was announced originally between him and OD that OD would win. I thought OD had a good chance of winning that fight. I really, to my shame, I felt like O'Hara Davis might have stood a good chance of beating Josh Taylor. Obviously now, like, look at the way their careers have gone. I mean, one has just gone up in flames. Like, I know O'Hara Davis won the golden contract and all that jazz, but really, he is a British level fighter. Let's not beat around the bush here. And Josh Taylor, pound for pound. I mean, imagine that there was, and believe you me, back when that fight was announced and we were open the build up, there were some people who were just picking Taylor outright because they didn't like O'Hara Davis. That's fine. But there was a lot of people out there who, a bit like me, obviously I wasn't making this, and were like, look, I honestly don't know. And that's why I was like, Jesus, I don't know. Because Matchroom, I suppose, done such a good job hyping him. And remember O'Hara Davis, he was beating up guys like Derry Matthews who'd seen better days, and they'd seen better days at the weight below. He was going to the ring with the Undertaker's music. It was all kind of theatrical with OD. And I think that was kind of, at the time, that was what was kind of not endearing him. I mean, that's the bad word. He wasn't. He's still not endearing to anyone. But it was kind of making you believe he was better than he was. It was almost like his confidence was radiating off you, and you were believing, oh shit, this guy, could he do this? Could he do this? Obviously, you know, early on in that Josh Taylor fight, it became very apparent that no, he's No, he's not even in the same stratosphere as Josh Taylor. And if they ever fought again, I mean, good luck. Say a prayer for OD. You know what I'm saying? Pray for O'Hara Davis. If they ever fight again. White is funny. He's calling Wilder out. White is he's funny, but he doesn't mean to be funny. Do you know that sort of way? Like, he's such a volatile character. I've said this before. White could walk into a room full of mirrors and start a row with himself. That's the way he is. He's just such a fiery character. You know, a lot of people don't like Dillian White, and I think that I like watching him fight. He's okay. Some of the things he says are funny. Some of the things you're just like, what? Huh? But man, he is he is fiery as hell. That's one thing about Dillian White. Absolute fiery character. Big up to Tony. Much respect, G-Man, and the chat. Big up, Tony, every time. Glad you're here. Glad you're all locked in. We've got the usual crew in. Man. I'm happy yous are all locked in, It's been a bit of a shit week, but we're streaming. 38 in the chat. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get an hour and a bit in. Luckily, you seen him spar. He was knocking out boxers. I've only ever seen one knock, and he wasn't knocked out. He was knocked down. I've only ever seen it happen once in sparring where a fighter get dropped, and it was a light heavyweight getting dropped by my mate Niall O'Connor, who I had in the chat a few weeks ago. He dropped the light heavyweight with a body shot, and he's only he's a lightweight, realistically. But what was it? Love to see. Oh man, Nick, exactly. 38 in the chat. Smash the like button on the way in. Exactly, lads. Once I saw that, I was like, nope. We got to highlight that comment. And big up to Nick, Tony, Dan, Troll Network. Big up to him. He's been putting out the content lately, so go and check him out as well. AJ would have kept touching Wilder's jab like Fury did. I suspect he would have. As well. It would have been a good fight. Like, I mean, I think now it's more easy to pick now. I go with AJ. It's not easy, but you know what I mean. Like, but would be AJ. It'd be AJ. I'd be going with psychopathic Wilder now. Oh, psychotic Wilder now. He is that, lads. Right? Wilder is fuck. He is just, the man is I don't know. I never seen anything like it. I mean, I'm dying to see what he comes out with next. I really am. Who is he going to blame next? I mean, who is he going to blame next? Say they prove Glovegate is bullshit, which you don't need. We've already proved it's bullshit. But what's the next excuse going to be? What's the next excuse going to be? He had a heart attack before he got in the ring. Something like that. Something stupid like that. I had a heart attack or something like that. That's why I was so bad. Or what is the next excuse he's going to give with? Because the list of excuses he has, I mean, it's longer than, a Dublin girl's list for a boyfriend. Seriously. The list he has for excuses is like, if you ever met a girl from Dublin, their list of what they want in a fella is like fucking, you'd have to write it on toilet paper. It goes on that long. That's kind of where we're going with Deontay Wilder, right? That's where we're fucking going with it, right? That's where we're going with it. Yeah, I think if AJ got Wilder backing up, Wilder will be done for. Wilder's still dangerous, though. Bear that in mind. Wilder he has that natural power. You think Tyson will box the head off AJ in that fight? Yeah, I think I'd be going with Tyson Fury to win, but it'd be a competitive fight. AJ would not be as simple as Wilder. Definitely not. Definitely not. Devin shouldn't have said that. No, he shouldn't have. It was a silly thing to say. And as I said, he jinxed himself by saying that. By saying he's never going to lose to a white man, he's jinxed himself. I'm convinced that when you give out like negative, that's real negative. You give that out, you are jinxing yourself with that. So that every fighter more than likely will lose, and I reckon that he's jinxed himself with that. So we've got long-haired guy, evening G-Man. Hope all is good. No, man, it is. We're all good. Everything is good. We're positive. We are. I know it's a cliche, but we are. There was a bit of dust there. Yeah, but we are. It's a cliche, but we are. I worry too much. I know I do. Ain't get you nowhere, lads. Don't get you nowhere. Josh Taylor's in a different league. To most British fighters, he is. All right. Warrington, Taylor. There's some great British fighters there, but I think Taylor he's a cut above the rest. You were quite keen on Haney till he said that. Yeah, I think a lot of people were. I didn't really mind Devin Haney. Once I saw him say that, I was like, really, really, you got to come out with something like that. I mean, that is just silly. That's just silliness. And Danny did his best work at 140. Oh, by far. That was by far his comfiest weight. Manny Garcia was great at 140 pounds. Very good, but he was outgrowing the weight. No, he outgrew the weight. He definitely was, because you could see it near the end. He was even more flat foot, because near the end he was cutting a good bit of weight. Like I'm talking, like I think one stage he rehydrated to like 157 or something like that. So yeah, Danny was good at that weight, but he's in the right weight now. But 140 was his wins against Matisse. That Matisse win was brilliant. You know, I didn't think he could box like that, but he really, really, really done well against Lucas Matisse. I think most people were picking Matisse to win that fight as well. Spence by decision. Yeah, I'm thinking as well. I'm thinking that as well. He's getting lit up by Spence if he's okay, because a crash like that, who knows? Oh God, like I mean, like if this was Errol Spence, right? Say for argument's sake, we had Errol Spence just beat Sean Porter, no car accident, well, crash because it was his own fault. No car crash. He lit up. He got lit up, absolutely lit up. But lads, I can't stress it enough how bad that crash was and just how violent it was. I can't look at that and just think, it'd be grand, he'll be all right. You know, he'll dust himself down, he'll get back. No, I'm convinced there's going to be some residual damage there. I'm convinced about it. I'm absolutely, I'd be amazed if there's no residual damage or so. And definitely injury-wise, I mean, Jesus Christ, injury-wise, I don't know. I just don't know. There had to have been injury. You can't just get flung from a car like that, a quick car like that, and just not have injuries. Considering there've been people, I've literally seen people been in far less severe crashes and have injuries. You know, not life-threatening injuries, but have injuries nonetheless. You know, Jesus, they've had injuries nonetheless, but they've been a far less severe crashes. He was. 2018 was not a particularly good year for Billy Joe, because Billy Joe was meant to fight Murray twice that year, and each time he went and he done I think ticket sales were fucking up for the first time, and then I think the second time he just was like, I'll take the Triple G fight, didn't get it, got the Canelo, and it just went hits up after that. You saw Josh Taylor in London, he's a mean streak. I've heard a few people say that, all right. I've heard a few people say, all right, he's got a bit of a mean streak. He is, at least for intellectually, he seems switched on, though. That's the main thing. You like Josh Taylor, can't wait for Undisputed. Yes, I can't wait for him and Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez, I don't think he gets enough credit. I think Jose Ramirez is very good. Is very good. He just has performances where he's a bit lackluster, but he is very good. I mean, you look at him in his big fights, he always performs. Eddie was banking on Davis big. Yeah. He was putting all his eggs in OD. He really was. He was really trying to sell OD. I remember when he put him in there against Scarper. That was on Katie Taylor's pro debut. Can you imagine this? Katie Taylor. Look at this, is how two careers can go, right? Katie Taylor. This is just some of the trivia I remember. I'm weird like that. I remember weird shit. Katie Taylor made her pro debut on O'Hara Davis's undercard. I can guarantee it was him versus Andrea Scarpa. I can nearly guarantee it. If you go box rec, you'll see she made a pro debut on OD versus Andrea Scarpa. Now, he main evented that card, and it was a shit fight because Scarpa didn't want to win. All right, OD won every round. Right? He main evented that card. Look at him now. Yeah, he's won the golden contract, but in terms of achievements, in terms of winning titles, what's he done? Fuck all. Look at Katie Taylor. Whatever you want to say about female boxing, whatever you want to say about it, look what Katie Taylor's done, right? She made an absolute rake of money, right? She got all these sponsors. Eddie Hearn absolutely adores the girl. She's 2 rounds up in every fight before she even has thrown a punch. Seriously, look at both pursuing fights. And was it Terry O'Connor who scored actually the fight 98-92 in the second pursuing fight? It might have been. Look what she's doing. Look at the difference, right? 49 in the chat. Smash the like button, lads, if you haven't already. Let's try and get about 30, 40 likes on this stream, right? We're at 32 likes. Let's try and get 40 likes on this stream, right? Don't be embarrassed, G-Man. At one point, I thought David Price would beat Tyson. Do you remember what the WTF video I did on David Price? And I was showing you the comments that were left. I had to, oh my God, that was a job trying to get those comments. Because so many old David Price interviews are so hard to find. They're so hard to find. It was a job trying to get them comments. And you'd seen the people who were like, you know, oh, Pricey going to win. It was so, I'm doing a WTF video this weekend. All right, I have it ready. I bullet pointed everything I needed to know. I have all the pictures downloaded. I'm not going to let you know who it is, right? But I'm hoping either by Sunday or Monday to have it done. I'm going to record it tomorrow. And I'm guaranteeing I'll get it out this weekend or on Monday at the latest. And I'm looking forward to this. And like, the more I've been researching this fighter, although it's not hard, he's an active fighter. But damn, it was fun. Yous are gonna fucking. I'm thinking this could be a good one. But I remember that WTF vid on David Price. The one thing I forgot to do, and Dan told me this, was I forgot to put a David Price pic of him in the big suit. And I actually am snapping I didn't do that. Because that would have been great. Oh shit, I didn't read that comment. Josh got legit skills, good fighter. Brilliant fighter. Brilliant fighter, Josh Taylor is. Let you in a little secret. He was knocking out a boxer who spars. He was knocking boxers out in sparring who were a bit heavier than him. Interesting. Like I said, that's not out of the ordinary. I've seen that happen. Not been knocked out, but you agree, G-Man? Yeah. I'd probably about OD. I think we're on the subject of OD. I like OD, but sometimes I can't pronounce. I don't even know what that means. So it was Matchroom. I figured out he lied about something, so I lost interest. Yeah, I think OD, it was just a big front. Oh, well, it was obviously a front because look what happened when against Taylor. But no, OD, I just can't see him doing anything. Like, he has that golden contract, so he's going to get paid well, which is good. You know, get paid well and get out, yeah. But in terms of him at world level, I'd be amazed if he does anything even remarkably close to world level. Jesus, could you imagine? He's at 140, right? Let's not look at the champions. Could you imagine OD against Prograis? How long would that last? Not long. Love to see White Wild the press conference. That would be hilarious. Be fucking funny as shit. But we would see some lads. That would be Mark, hi, love your chat. Man, appreciate it. Have I heard of James Patrick Ward? I haven't. Let's have a look-see. Right? I'm gonna bring this camera off for 2 seconds. I'll have a look-see. We'll see James Patrick Ward. All right, let's have a look-see. James Patrick Ward. I thought you were talking about Thomas Patrick Ward there for a second. Let's have a look-see. Where are we at? James Patrick Ward. Right, 2 secs. James Patrick Ward. Let's have a look. See this guy on BoxRec. Is he an amateur or is he a pro? Because I ain't seeing anything for James Patrick Ward there. So if you want, I haven't heard of him, but if you want, let me know. Nick commented and said you talk about Thomas Ward. If it's Thomas Patrick Ward, I've seen him plenty of times. But James Patrick Ward, I haven't heard of yet. You think, oh yeah, I read that already. Oh, big up JPK. Fucking got it this time. No JK, got JPK. There you go. There you fucking go. Got it in there straight away. Sorry you're late. What's up, guys? Nah, man. All good. All good. Glad yous are all here. Happy day. I'm happy out, man. I got the JPK right. I didn't fuck it up this time. You know, I'm learning. You know? Learning, lad. You know? Who says guys who do their hair aren't smart? Who says that? Thoughts on Tyson versus Jones fight? I actually, like, in a weird way, I am kind of looking forward to it. I have to admit it. In a weird way, I am kind of looking forward to Tyson versus Jones. In a strange kind of I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I shouldn't be. But I am in a weird way. In terms of who I think will win, I was going back and forth. When this originally broke, I thought definitely Jones. And then I started thinking, whoa, wait a minute. Jones has like been knocked out badly so many times that that could be bad. But then I started looking at Tyson. I'm like, well, Tyson looks like absolute hell. He really don't look good. No, he doesn't look good at all. So by then I was just like, at this stage now I'm going with Jones. I think if Jones can get through 2 rounds, he'll be fine. And I think that, but if Tyson throws a hard jab and lands bang on Jones's chin, good night, bye-bye, see you later. That's it, it's over. He's not getting up, Jim. As Roy Jones said himself, he's not getting up, Jim. Am I the only one who thinks Wilder may have actually suffered brain damage? No, possibly. I mean, you're getting hit in the head, possibly. I think Wilder's just dumb. I think that's all it is. He's just dumb. He's just an idiot. He's like, I done the impression last time, and I'll do it again this time. He's like, no, we thought you was dead. Did I lose? Oh, shit. I didn't think I did. You ever see that episode of South Park? I'm going off topic, but fuck it, of the Special Olympics, where Carton pretends to be a Special Olympics contestant, and he's walking up with his mom, and he's like, yeah. That's a bit like how Wilder is. He's just so dumb. That's all that goes on in his head. It's just like a little lad on a wheel running around, working the controls. That's what goes on in his head. In terms of brain damage, I doubt it, but you never know. I think Wilder's been going that way for a while, though. 25 years ago, Jones would never have wanted Tyson. Man, 25 years ago, Jesus, I was 2. Jones would have been a super middleweight back then. So, yeah, I mean, that would have been... I think Wilder's got a nervous breakdown and it wasn't addressed. It's actually sad. I wouldn't rule it out. Man, I wouldn't rule it out. I could have easily had a nervous breakdown. Could easily. You see people, some of them do. Man, some of them, they let that little thing go awry. But you see, Wilder's just delusional. I mean, delusional is not even the word. Like, I've seen delusional people in my life, right? In boxing, outside boxing, in real life. He is like right up there. He has got to be probably just like, as far as he's concerned, 2 + 2 is 22, and there's no use arguing. He knows. That's literally Deontay Wilder in a nutshell. In terms of critical thinking, in terms of knowing his own psychology, he is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Seriously, there's no use with this guy. Wilder's mental health is shot to bits. 100%. Oh, Joe, 100%. Joe Stunner, 100% agree. Shot to pieces. He got totally absorbed by his own hype. I'm probably saying that wrong. My reading is shocking, as I'm sure maybe some of you will know. By his own hype, and psychology collapsed once Fury burst his bubble. Yeah, he was living in a dream world. It was like he was so out of touch with what was going on. He was so out of touch with what was going on in reality that he just couldn't even comprehend the thought of him losing. I want to touch on what Dan said there. Is Canelo still going to be fighting on DAZN? Dan, as far as I'm aware, right now, I could be wrong with this, but I seen someone say, I think it was Hatman actually, who we have like a little group chat. And I think he said that you could have potentially, he just asked the question. He said, is he split? He could have split from Golden Boy, but not necessarily DAZN. So he could still be locked into DAZN, but just maybe working as a bit like what Triple G does. So although Triple G works with Eddie Hearn, he could also be working with Canelo, so because Triple G is his own promotion. So it could be something like that. Been watching boxing 40 years and studying history. I've never heard excuses so ridiculous. I've not been watching boxing as that long. Jesus, I've been watching boxing for 8 years now. 8 years, yeah. And yeah, obviously I've studied boxing. I've looked back on history, but I don't think I've ever in all my life seen anything like it. Even in not just boxing, just in general. Someone making excuses like this, it's crazy. It's like, what's going on in the man's head? Have you seen Michael Hunter begging for a fight on Twitter? He has to. He has no choice. He's no choice, unfortunately. He's not with Eddie Hearn anymore, which is shit because he should be. He deserves it. Fucking Dave Allen is with Eddie Hearn still, which is bullshit. You know, Dave Allen, right, is put him in there against. There's a big tractor gone by, which you'll see there in the window. Hope that didn't pick up on the tractor driving by. The mic anyway. But Dave Allen, put him in there against someone like Masvidal or someone like that and let him get absolutely steamrolled and just be done with it, because he, as I said at the start of the stream, he's fucking going to be taken. He's going to be on AJ's undercard. Wait and you see. Now, mark me fucking words and wipe my fucking ass. He's going to be on AJ's fucking card. Wait and you see. In a pay-per-view. Again, Joshua beats Fury. Could very well. What about Joyce fight? Man, that's a good fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going with Dubois to win that fight on points. I'm going with Dubois. I do think AJ will have more success box with Fury than most people expect. Don't sleep on his box skills. Oh, of course not. No, I agree with you 100% there. 100% agree. He will definitely have some success with his boxing. 100%. What can AJ do in the Tyson Fury fight what can AJ do in the Fury fight that Fury has every advantage and a way better boxer? I think AJ might be a little bit better on the inside than Fury, just in my opinion. I think he might be a little bit better. Josh Taylor is a Taekwondo black belt. I got it. Didn't need correction. Got it. Taekwondo black belt. Double heart bastard. I didn't know that, but that's actually good to know. You're from Arlington R, and no, it was that bad. Whereabouts is that, Tony? I'm not 100% sure where that is. Brah, working and listening. We've got Stella. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Evening, gents. Evening. Hello, Stella, as Graham Taylor says there. You picked Josh Taylor and Prograis over him. Oh, yeah, like I would. Like Ramirez, don't sleep on Ramirez. He is a good fighter, but I would pick those two. And I rewatched Taylor Prograis only a few days ago. I do still think Taylor won, but man, that fight's the rewatch value on that fight is fantastic. I mean, both those guys are amazing. Let's get 50 likes. Boom. Smash the like button. It costs nothing. Helps support the channel. How many likes do we have? We've got like 30 something, I think. Someone wants to tell me, but I think we're on like 30 something. Yeah, 38. 12 likes off. Smash the like. We get this up to 50 likes. Bingo. Costs nothing. Doesn't cost a penny. Helps out the channel. Does all that good stuff. If Mikey Garcia fought at 140, he should. Does he beat? Oh, man. Mikey at... Whoa. I think he could beat... I know I was saying how good Ramirez is, but I'd be saying maybe Mikey would beat Ramirez. Prograis against Garcia. Oh, jeez, lad. Man, I wouldn't know who to pick in that. I think Prograis has something special. I really do think Prograis has something special. There's something about Prograis. When you look at him, you just think it will take a fighter. And even then, a lot of people argue with Josh Taylor Prograis. I don't have an issue with it personally. I thought Taylor won, but if you Prograis winning, I mean, fine, it's no worries. It takes a special fighter to be Prograis. I think he's special. Billy Joe should be at middleweight. He would be the man there. 100%. 100% agree with you. Billy Joe should be at middleweight. 100% agree. Billy Joe, realistically, right? Billy Joe should have started his career at 154 pounds. Tried to win a title there and then move up to 160. But he's done it the opposite way. He's just decided, fuck it, I'm just going to not cut the weight, fight at middleweight, and then move to 168. Fair enough, like he's won a world title at 168, but really, he beat Isufi and then fought a career middleweight. Because the guy, Carassus, whatever his name is, he's a middleweight. Fucking middleweight. Don't forget, OD got a gift decision over Vasquez, just as bad as the Ritson one was worse. The Lewis Ritson one was way worse. It was. No, man, it was. But OD winning that decision, fuck. That was bullshit. I feel for Miguel Vasquez. I really do. I'll pop this on charge for a sec. I feel for Miguel Vasquez. I really fucking do. Because that's twice now he's gone to the UK. That's twice he's been absolutely screwed over. And so much so that apparently he's actually signed with MTK now. I mean, Miguel Vasquez, great fighter, bloody very good fighter, but just he's been fucked over something bad. Yeah, exactly. I feel sorry for him. He should have 2 wins over, credible British level guys, and he's 2 losses, and one of them was fucking disgusting. That Ritson fight was fucking disgusting. It's disgusting, that decision. You don't like OD, but you're behind him. I think everyone is behind him in his beef with Bellend. Tony Bellew. Harley Quinn. I call Tony Bellew Harley Quinn. That's what he's like. He's a little cheerleader. Yes, Mr. J. It is to laugh, huh, Mr. J? Ah, Mr. J, you're so funny. That's Tony Bellew in a nutshell. Harley Quinn. Ward has some good scraps at Maxie Hughes. He did. Maxie Hughes he's improving left, right, and center. You're not really looking forward to Tyson Jones at all, in your opinion. Tyson smashes him. Really, you think Tyson smashes him? Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, we got Justin in the chat, and he says Canelo, PBC, or Matchroom. I said it in my video. I think neither. I think Canelo will go solo. I'm surprised he's not done it sooner. Yes, I'm surprised he's not done it sooner, to be honest with you. Canelo's still fighting on the zone. Hopefully, Canelo's a free agent. If he's not going to fight Berta BF, but yeah, he might fight. Well, Callum Smith, maybe. But Andre, I'd love to see him fight Demetrius Andre. You disagree? He's dumb. Wilder, you're talking about, I'm assuming. Don't think he could have got this far being. Don't think he could get so far being a limited boxer and dumb. Well, you can get far being a limited boxer if you got good power, but that doesn't mean you're smart. There are look at some of the things Wilder said and done. I mean, the man is not bright. I think that's fair to say. It's fair. Look at his little brother. That little brother, he's a little fucking child, right? He's older than me. But Jesus, he's a child. He's fundamentally a child, that lad. The way he carries on, he's a fucking child. You wouldn't see little kids as petty as him. Seriously. Do you think Ryan? No. I think he'll take the fight with Campbell. He'll win. I think he's gonna win, and then he'll try and follow Canelo. He'll follow Canelo too. Ricky View said in an interview with Michelle Joy Phelps, "Dizzy is not even the word I'd use to describe that woman." I'll carry on. That it will be better if Wilder stopped making excuses. Oh yeah, man, he could. Like, when you better be able to back these up, right? If he's saying absolute, you know what, like this, you want to be able to back those things up, because you could easily get yourself sued. Easily. Wilder should sign with Hunter should sign with Top Rank. Yeah, I actually think that's a very good show. Believe it or not, it's not a bad show actually. What's up, G-Man in the chat? Big up. Just rewatched Wilder Fury 2 and can't understand how anyone sees anything but a masterclass from Fury in any department. I've watched that fight back so many times, and I can't honestly. I can't understand how anyone thinks it was anything. Even the great Oliver McCall knocked Lennox Lewis out. No excuse. Got a rematch. Yep. Lennox Lewis, that's the mentality you want. Just the winner's mentality. That's the best way to describe it. Big up to Intangible, by the way. Big up to Intangible every time. Doing some great work over on his channel. Some great work over there. You really hope Hunter gets a big fight soon. Dan, so do I. I like watching Hunter. I think Michael Hunter is fucking brilliant. 43 likes, 42 on the chat. Big up, everyone. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Try and get the 50 likes. But yeah, no, I think Hunter is brilliant. I just think that he just doesn't sell enough tickets, which is the saddest part, because that's the word. That's the thing about boxing that really fucking pisses me off, is that you have a great fighter like Michael Hunter who could do good things at heavyweight, who is a world level heavyweight, can't keep a promotional deal, and you have Dave Allen. You have fucking Dave Allen, 8.0, who does look, when he fought, or when he was meant to fight Lovejoy, we all would have tuned in. We were all going to tune in. We were all going to fucking tune in. Because I was dying to see how bad Lovejoy was. I really was. I was dying to see how bad Lovejoy was. I really was. One guy told my coach he wanted to go pro after only 2 months. So I wanted to check out his knowledge. First thing he said was, Oh, Jesus. Yeah. 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 There are some fighters who know sweet nothing about boxing, and they've gone very far. Like, look at Jamie McDonnell. The lad doesn't know anything about boxing. He doesn't watch boxing. By his own admission, he doesn't watch boxing, which is a bit silly. Like, it's your profession at the end of the day. You should learn to do a little bit about it or do some goddamn research on it. But he laughs about that. But then it's funny because, like, he fought that Japanese guy, Kimura or someone like that, years ago, and he said he was looking at him and he was real worried about it. And then he looked at Naoya Inoue and was like, I've nothing to worry about. I was like, say what? That Kimura guy was nothing compared to Inoue. Jesus. I just heard an hour ago he left Golden Boy, but not sure. Yeah, so it looks like he's left, but I'm not sure about the zone. I think the zone is still, he might still be there. But Golden Boy, yeah. And Oscar De La Hoya will be crying tonight, right? Ain't no amount of women or anything like that is going to fix Oscar De La Hoya tonight. I don't think any of it is. Ain't no amount of that going to fix De La Hoya. Who do we think will be heavyweight of the year? I remember my pick, Fury, because there have been sweet FA who've done anything else. If Povetkin and White had happened, and Povetkin had won, as in November, I would have said Povetkin. But based on Fury, if he has 2 fights this year, we'll go with Fury. Because there's been nothing. I mean, like, there's literally been nothing. Don't underestimate AJ. No, you don't underestimate AJ. Intangible, hope you're well. Big up, Intangible. Where I live, was born in Richmond. All right. A big up to Intangible every single time. What platform? I see him just going solo. Now, he might do what Triple G did. He might just go and do what Triple G did. I take his own promotional company. I think Canelo does. Or at least, I'm sure he does. And run his own shows, but just maybe work with Eddie Hearn as kind of, the co-promoter or something like that. What Triple G does. But in turn, I'm surprised he's not done it sooner, to be honest with you. I really am. I really am surprised he's not done it sooner. How do you rate Usyk a heavyweight? I think he looked good against Chisora, but a little small. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that people are far too reactionary. I think that when people look at Usyk Chisora, they see a smaller heavyweight, maybe not the biggest puncher a heavyweight, but they don't look for this. Like, he beat Chisora quite soundly, I thought. I didn't really. Yeah, there was a few scares early on, but for the most part, I think he beat Chisora quite soundly. And I think that it's just the fact that he got bullied a bit in there early on. But that's going to happen, There was what? 30, 40, nearly pound weight advantage in Chisora's favor. So that was always going to happen. That was always going to happen. So I don't really read too much into it personally. Joshua's better than anyone give credit for, than they give credit for. Yeah. He is, like, Joshua is good. And I think it's just the fact that he lost to Ruiz and stuff like that. People see Joshua's fanboys. Like, I swear to baby Jesus, a lot of those fanboys, Jesus Christ, some of them are simps. Some of them are massive simps. I mean, like, I don't even know. And they're not real box. They're the ones who big him up. But they're the reason why some people maybe didn't warm to him. But fuck me, some of them are simps. Jesus Christ. But Joshua is a very, very good boxer. Extremely good. I think he has an advantage on Fury on the inside. But I think just in terms of long range, I think Fury's going to take that, though. Be interesting to see how he fights them. Who do you have in Bivol versus Beterbiev? Beterbiev, just on size and just on punching power personally. Although Bivol has the speed. It's a good fight. If I had to pick, I'd say Beterbiev on points. Intangible. This ain't a diss, but your Eastern accent always sounds English to me. Jesus. That might be a diss, man. That might be a diss. What does Intangible say? My father is from South Georgia and doesn't have an accent. Mother is from. All right, man. Intangible giving us some facts out here. The guy who pulled his gloves down. What? Something he's been caught doing before. There we go. There's always one. You think Campbell beats Garcia? Garcia grossly overrated. I think Garcia is a good fighter, right? I really do. I think Ryan Garcia is going to win this fight. Personally, that's just what I'm feeling, man. That's just what I'm feeling. I think Ryan Garcia is going to win this fight. I don't know why. I just do. I just think Ryan Garcia is going to win this fight. Big up to Pigeon. Yes, big up to Pigeon. Got him live. I'm in London. There we go. Big up every single time. Yes, it's confirmed. Oh. Really? I wonder who they're going to stick him in there with. Oh, man. Really? Huey Fury. This is his last matchroom fight because it was a 3-fight deal as far as I was aware. So unless Eddie, and is Eddie Hearn going to re-sign Huey Fury? I seriously doubt it. I mean, like, that is a guy who doesn't put butts in seats. That's a fucking guy who doesn't put butts in seats, Huey Fury. I mean, Jesus Christ, people. Huey Fury, do you remember when he fought Povetkin? Was it Tim Bradley or was it Andre Ward who was roasting him on commentary? One of them was roasting him on commentary and they were like, Fury in name, but he ain't no Fury. I think I used to say, Huey haven't no Fury. I'd like Michelle Joy Phelps if only she had a more annoying laugh and a lot more plastic surgery. Do you mean if she hadn't or if she had? Because I think when you look at old pics of Michelle Joy Phelps, she actually looks really pretty. I mean, I think that is a problem with today. Loads of people are a little bit on the old insecure side. And it's just sad because there's so many like girls out there who are absolutely gorgeous and they literally destroy themselves with all this surgery and stuff like that. And, you know, they're just women who don't need to do anything. They literally don't need to do anything. They're just perfect the way they are. And some of them just can't accept that. So they end up like that. There's a girl I used to know, right? When did I meet her first? I met her like 5 or 6 years ago. And when I met her first, she was really pretty. Like really, really pretty. Seen her there last year. And I'm telling you now, lads, right? She looked like the fucking Joker out of The Dark Knight. That's how bad she, like literally the face was like almost like pulled together. Lips were bigger than her fucking head. She looked ridiculous. Looked like the Joker out of Batman. That's the best way. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but that was, and I mean that girl, when I knew her, she was pretty. Man, she was fucking pretty. But I don't know what happened. You know, I don't know what happened. Looked like the Joker out of The Dark Knight. You know? Looked like the Joker. Why so serious? You think Campbell beats Garcia? I'm not saying he gets the decision, though. This is a golden boy. How many dodgy cards can they... yeah, no, I have to... I'll go along with you on that one. Can I get hashtag? Can you get hashtag GMANSROCKS? We're going to rock GMANSROCKS back. It never went away. GMANSROCKS. We'll keep the hashtag GMANSROCKS movement going. I'll get a mug out one day with that. Hashtag GMANSROCKS with just a pair of ripped jeans on it as well. So you have the hashtag GMANSROCKS with a pair of ripped jeans on it. And there you go. That's the G-Man signature. Ripped jeans and GMANSROCKS. Can I get the King of Ripped Jeans' opinion on Usyk's pound number 4 ranking? Includes his crucial performance. I think that's fair. I'd have him in my top 5 anyway. All right, I definitely have Usyk in my top 5. 48 likes, 52 in the comment. 2 more likes, we're at 50 likes. Let's get this to 50 likes there, peeps. 50 likes. Let's get to 50 likes there, peeps. I'm quite a bit shocked. I am as well. You see, I know plenty who are very good and they do know the history. But there's others, you just say it to them. Oh, do you know about this fighter? Yeah, I wouldn't mind, but it's not even like you're naming hard fighters. You're saying like, you know, Harry Gribe or someone like that. Or did you ever hear of Tommy Loughran? Who? Like the Philadelphia Phantom, Tommy Loughran. You making names up? I'm like, no, I'm not fucking making names up. Tommy Loughran, you never heard of him. He beat Jim Braddock. Who's Jim Braddock? And it's like, these are pros. It's like, Right, well, you care about your profession? Really? Prime Canelo versus Prime Hopkins. Who wins? I reckon Hopkins would take that. I reckon Hopkins he'd find a way to win. I reckon Hopkins would find a way to win. Where are we? 2018, you gave to Dillian. Last year, you gave to Hunter. That's a fair. They're both fair, actually. They're both very good shouts. Got to be Fury this year for heavyweight of the year. Even though he's only fought once, this year has been an absolute catastrophe of a year in terms of fights, fighters getting fights, this, that, and the other. So I would give it to Fury, especially if he fights Caballero, because they'll have taken 2 O's, basically. Like, literally, he would have taken 2 O's if he fights Caballero. So I have no problem with that. Prime Morales. Oh, Morales. Don't. Oh, no. Fuck Russell. And that's not because I don't like the guy, but seriously, Morales would have a field day with him. And Jones on points, I think. And big up to Rob, by the way. Robbie Mitchell. Yo, Peeps. Yo, Rob. In my opinion, Usyk could have taken Chisora out anytime after the 7th round. I do think he got a little bit gassed in towards the end of it. Not gassed. Maybe that's a poor way of saying it, but I don't think he had the stamina maybe in the end that he normally does have. But yeah, exactly. You're right. How many fighters care about their undercards being entertaining? Fuck all. Fuck all. I know AJ don't give a shit. Lads, we are literally, and I seen Dell popped in the chat there. I'm going to big him up now in 1 sec. But lads, big up Dell. Big up every time. Hashtag GMANSROCKS better be trending. I was saying it earlier in the chat, Dell, and I'm saying it again, right? G-Man is buzzing for, oh yeah, Dell, I fucking can't wait. Oh, yeah, Marius Vac and Huey Fury. Fuck. Jesus, Huey have no Fury. I can't. This is, as far as I know, this is his last fight with Matchroom. I think he's on a 3-fight deal, but fuck, man. I do not like you, Dell. You don't like Dave Allen. I really don't fucking like Huey Fury. I think the guy's a fool. And we're probably going to see Dave Allen on this card as well. You know, Eddie Hearn is going to put him on a pay-per-view just to say, you know, sorry for the Lovejoy situation falling to bits. You know, he's going to put Dave Allen on this card, seriously. A big up to Dell every time. Shout out to his channel as well, by the way. But Jesus, he is going to, yeah, he is, oh man. We're probably going to get Huey Fury and Dave Allen on the same card. They'll probably put Dave Allen in there with someone like, seriously, probably put him in there with Winters or someone like that. Someone shit that he's supposed to beat, but he shouldn't be fighting on the card anyway. Fucking Dave. Oh, man. I remember they meant to have a fight at one stage. Jesus Christ. Bivol is a super middleweight, though. Like, he really is. He could make super middleweight, no problem, I reckon. Well, I mean, no problem, but Jesus. If you were Team Wilder, what's your plan for him? Rematch, rebuild, or cash out type of freak show fight against Mayweather McGregor? They're cashing him out against Fury. Like I said, Tyrell Big style. They're cashing him out, Tyrell Big style. At first, you thought Campbell was going to beat Ryan, but I didn't know much about Ryan. Now I've watched him. Yep. I think that as well. I think he's going to be too fast. Yeah. Huey Fury versus Wack. Unfortunately. Hey, G-Man, you to your channel here, and that is recommendation. Boom. Big up to Ade every single time, man. Every single time. And thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. I love getting new subs. Always love seeing you guys in the chat. Hope you're all enjoying it. Hope you're having a good time. By the way, before I go, I'm not going anywhere, by the way, but just before I miss it, I would go with Holyfield. Josh Kelly versus David Avanesyan, or whatever his name is. Probably be on the bet. No, man, they're doing that on the White Povetkin card in the new year. You are being sarcastic. It's hard to tell, right? It's very hard to tell when you're reading comments out like that. Agree, girls are destroying this as a plastic surgery. Glad there wasn't much around in my days. Man, I told you, like, that first met that girl 6 years ago, right? And fuck me, she was pretty, like real pretty. And last year I seen her, Batman the Joker. That's what she looked like. Looked like the lips were as big as her fucking head. Seriously, lips were as big as her fucking head. Face looked like someone got a nail gun and just plastered the cheeks together. And I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? And he's like, look how pretty I am. I'm like, am I that like Principal Skinner? Am I that out of touch that's pretty now? Yep, Jimmy Braddock did beat Max Baer in 1935. Exactly. Won it on points. 15 rounder. A year to the day after Baer knocked out Primo Carnera. The worst thing is when you're trying to talk to some casual boxing fan about something that's not, oh yeah, Jesus Christ. I asked him mate the other day if he saw it. Yeah, man. Nothing worse. There's literally nothing fucking worse than when that happens. Because they literally, most boxing fans, this is the casual boxing fans pound for pound list in this order. AJ, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, and then maybe Canelo or something like that. That's your casual fans pound for pound list. That is literally how, if you say to a casual, they're the best fighters in the world. Oh yeah, Mayweather beat anyone. Mayweather would beat Mike Tyson. I've literally seen fans, like casuals, say that Mike Tyson, if Mayweather had been around along with a prime Mike Tyson, Mayweather would never have been undefeated. It's like, you do realize they were different weights? What do you mean different weights? I'm like, different fucking weights, as in that he's a heavyweight, he's a welterweight. I don't get you. Yeah. All right. You don't get a lot of things. You don't get a fucking lot of things. Do you like fighters like White? Do I think fighters like White? Not White. Definitely not White. I think Usyk with box rings around him. Parker maybe. I think Parker might have the speed. Might be able to fiddle his way. I don't know. I think Usyk would probably still have the beat in the Parker, though, to be fair. I think he still have the beat in the Parker, to be fair. How does Hughie Fury keep getting these fights? Michael Hunter can't get shit. I think it's all down to the fact that Hughie Fury is like, I think Hunter's fight by fight. Maybe Hunter was on a fight by fight contract, and maybe there was no fights. Maybe like he'd ran out of all his fights, and rather than renew it, they said, thank you, fuck you, bye. Whereas Hughie Fury, I think that he actually is on like a 3-fight deal, and he had his first fight against Povetkin. He had a second fight against that Sowers guy. Now he's got this, and I'd say Eddie Hearn will be kindly saying, goodbye, fuck you. You're boring, and you've got acne everywhere. And if you're 25 years old, then I'm fucking 8. Seriously. Big up to Dell every time. No problem, man. Marius Wack is literally a statue at this point. He's not going to test for. Oh man, it's going to be an absolute stinker. Fuck me, that's going to be a stinker of a fight. It's literally going to be. Oh man, I don't even want to think. And you know what? You'll have Hughie Fury saying shit like, oh, Marius Wack is still useful. He still hits real hard. All this bullshit. All this bullshit he could say. What's that say? I literally predict that would happen before anyone talks about it. Yeah, man. I was thinking like, who would they put him in there with? And then when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, maybe they probably would marry it. They recycle him at this stage. They recycle him, Marius Wack. If you had it your way, who would you have AJ and Fury against before their fights next year? Before their fight next year, you put. Oh no. Oh Jesus! If you want that fight to happen, I don't know. I'd nearly go with Usyk to beat AJ. I nearly would, man. I nearly would. I would put Fury in there with Hunter. I would put him in there with Hunter. The Canelo use is interesting. I wonder how the zone will deal with GGG. See, do you know what, right? Hatman asked this question earlier in a chat we have, and he said, is it right? It looks like he's left Golden Boy, but he might still be under contract with the zone. He could still be under contract with the zone. So he might still be able to get them fights made. I'm surprised he hasn't done it sooner, Del. Because like he's that big. I reckon that he should have just gone solo years ago. One of my mates said he went, oh fuck. Was it Michael Jordan who said, oh man, yeah, man, some of these casuals, man, they really see Tony Bellew, right? Tony Bellew's top 5. This is like Tony Bellew's top 5 pound for pound. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora, Anthony Fowler, or no, Callum Smith and Anthony Fowler. That's Tony Bellew's top 5 pound for pound. All right. And he might even move Tyson Fury down further because he's not a matchroom fighter. But that is what some people are like. That's their actual top 5 pound for pound. I'm convinced. Johnny Nelson's top 5 pound for pound. Oh, Jesus. Anthony Joshua. His top 5 is just going to be Anthony Joshua. It'd be like, because no one beats AJ. That's literally what Sky are like with their pound for pounds. Hunter is the chairman of the Who Needs Him. Yeah, he is. People look at Hunter and be like, fuck that. Don't need to fight him. No. Let's see Hunter versus Fury just to see. yeah. I'd watch that. What do you think of the heavyweight sign to White, Wadley, and Babbitt? How do you think they measure up against each other? Yeah, Wadley, I was pleasantly surprised. He done so well against that fella. What's it, Vallely? Because I thought he'd have a harder time with Vallely than he did. In terms of Babbage, well, he fought Shondale Winters. I thought Winters would give a sturdier test than he did. And then he obviously fought my best buddy. He fought my pal Niall Kennedy. You know, he loves me. Yeah, he fought I have to laugh. He fought my pal Niall Kennedy, and he beat him. Now he's fighting Tom Little. So he's fighting a load of, you know, not particularly good heavyweights. So it's hard to say, but he's not a heavyweight. I mean, the man is a cruiserweight. The man weighed in against Niall Kennedy without cutting any weight at 199 pounds. So what? If he was to actually cut weight for cruiserweight, what would he weigh? If he was to go and cut weight for cruiserweight and to get down, how close could he get down? It's crazy. Hughie Fury is Benjamin Buttons. He gets younger every year. Hughie's still young. Hughie's still young Fury. I can't believe he's a year younger than me, and he looks like, whenever you see him, you're just like, and this is the thing, right? Whenever he loses, it's like, it's his age. It's his age. Fuck his age. Fuck his age. It's the fact that he's just not that good. You think AJ beats Usyk? We'll have to wait and see. I think Usyk it would give AJ a very tough time. Very tough. You feel bad for Wack. Literally, they're using his name as a punching bag. Yeah, they literally are. They just recycle him. They just recycle Marius Wack. That's all they do with Marius Wack. They just he's happy to take the paydays, though. He's happy to take the paydays. Do you think White's been given a lifeline through the rematch falling through? Yep, I do. I honestly do. I really do. I think I saw Wilder. I think White's been given a serious lifeline. I think that Dillian White is. I was 100% picking Povetkin to win come November, but now I'm thinking Dillian White. I don't know if I'll pick him outright, but I'm 50-50. I'm a lot more convinced now Dillian White can win this rematch. Still not. There's still the element of doubt there, but I'm more convinced now. Oh, you've heard he's left the zone also, according to Dan Raphael. He's in negotiation to fight Plant next. I seen that, Del, but I don't know. When I heard about that, I was like, right, it could be good, but I just don't see them fighting Plant next. I think they're going to try and just use that to just string it along, and then maybe Chucky Yildirim in there or someone like that. I think Canelo fell into a trap being loyal to Mexicans, come back to bite him. Could be, man. It honestly could be. If Hughie Fury oh Jesus, man, I didn't even read that properly before I brought it up. That's oh man, that's nice. That's a nice analogy. He's your age, bro. Looks like your uncle, man. He does. He looks like that old uncle. Be like, there's Uncle Hughie. He's 38 years old, and he turns around and he says, "Yeah, I'm 24, 25." I'm like, well, someone's been hitting the drink hard for the last 10 years. If they're 25 years old, they're looking like that. Fury has the charisma of a cardboard box. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not like. I love the way. I think it was Tim Bradley when Tim Bradley was commentating on him versus Povetkin, and he was just taking digs left, right, and center of Hughie Fury. It was funny as hell. What's up, G-Man? What's your opinion on Wilder's new video? Has he released a new video? Has he actually? Or is it the video that he released the weekend? If he's released a new video, I have to have a look at it. I have to have a look at it so I can roast them. I'm roasting the shit out of Deontay Wilder. I'm having fun doing it. You know, the man is a fool. The man's a fucking moron of the highest goddamn order. So if he's released a new video, I'm all good. I'm all for it. I'm going to have a look-see at it. And I'll have a look and see what he's saying now. What absolute BS he's coming out with this time. Hughie should be fighting on Channel 5. Hennessy's putting on more shows now than ever. Like, he literally, in 3 years, he's put on something like 2 shows. Now he's putting on regular shows. He's got Isaac Chamberlain fighting regularly against no-hopers. And what's Chamberlain doing these days? He's fighting absolute garbage, Isaac Chamberlain. And I actually like Isaac Chamberlain. I think he's all right, but he needs to fight better opponents. He shouldn't. A 5-year deal with Mick Hennessy, man, that's career suicide. That's career suicide, man. Babbage needs to follow Hrgovic's resume fight by fight. Hrgovic been knocking the guys out on the same level for 2 years now. Yeah, I just don't see Babbage. He'll lose before he learns. That's what I think will happen. He'll take an L before he realizes I'm swimming upstream at heavyweight. And then he'll probably go down to cruiserweight. Who had a better chin, Wack or McCall? Oh, probably McCall. They both have very good chins. Wack's been overwhelmed. Wack has a shit defense. Probably worse than McCall. Oh, but McCall is never, like, he's in his 50s. He's still fighting. He's never been down. Who do you think the winner and loser of Dubois will be? Of Dubois Joyce will be? Yeah, I'm going with Dubois to win that fight on points. I'm going with Dubois to win that fight on points. Hopefully, Bakoli Kuzman gets made again. I hope so, man. I was looking forward to that fight. I was pissed off that fight didn't happen. I really was. I thought that was going to be a hell of a fight. I was looking forward to that. I'm pissed off it didn't happen. I'm really pissed off that fight didn't get made. Kuzman, well, I'll tell you one thing, right? You want to say about Hughie Fury looking old? No way in hell. Martin Bakoli's, they're saying he's in his 20s. That he looks way older. Apparently, he's related to Ilunga Makabu. Ilunga Makabu looks older than he is. And no way in hell. No way in goddamn hell. Bakoli is the age he says he is. No way. And yeah, I'm going with Dubois. You are going with the Juggernaut. Man, back and forth all the way on that. Loads of people are going back and forth. So some people have Triple D. Me and Dell are in agreement. I don't think he's going to stop him, though. I don't think he's going to stop him. I guess we're all anti-Hughie Fury. I'd be interested to see who actually supports him. John, I'd love to actually know, like, who out there does support Hughie Fury and actually is like, yeah, we're Hughie Fury all the way through. I'd love to know who it actually is. But yeah, you got DD, Nick's got DD, we all got Dubois. Yeah, I'm running with Dubois as well. I'm going with Dubois as well. Hearing a rumor that, oh, interesting. Let's see this. Bakoli Kuzman on November 21st. Ooh. That'd be just a short announcement gig, but I mean that card only has 3 fights. So plenty of time to get more fights added to it. Definitely have more time to get plenty of fights added to it. So I want to see that fight, man. I want to see that fight. You believe AJ just breaks Usyk? I think people need to talk about Usyk's age more. Yeah, he is. He's 34 years old now. Come what, January? Wilder really slowed down now at his age. Wilder's 35 now, man. He ain't getting any younger. Usyk is less than a year younger. In 2 years, he won't be a top 10 pound for pound. It potentially not. No, potentially not. No. I agree with that. I have to say I agree with that. Oh yeah. Hughie Fury will be world champion in 5 years. No. I can't see that. Can't see. I'd be amazed if Hughie Fury. I'd be surprised if he wins a European level, a European title. surprise me. And I'm not talking about WBO European title. I'm talking about legit the EBU European title. I'd be amazed if he won that. Not amazed, but I'd be surprised. But in terms of Hughie Fury winning the title, I mean, come on. Come on. Hughie Fury with that style. I just can't. I just can't. Yeah, that's it. That's the kind of title he'll win. He'll win an IBO title. He'll do a Eubank Jr. and just be like, yeah, I'm world champion. You know, I'm world champion. Bullshit. Your pound list: Canelo, Crawford, Loma, Inoue, Usyk, Taylor, Joshua, Pacquiao, Teo, Jamel, and Beterbiev. I'd change a few of them. I'd change a few of them, but I wouldn't have either Charlo in my top 10. Honestly, I don't mean that in a bad way, but I wouldn't have either Charlo in the top 10. Haney, Lopez, Tank, who do you think would go to first? Teofimo Lopez, definitely. And not just because he beat Loma. He always looked good, but I just thought the Loma fight was a bit too soon, but he proved me wrong. Haney, he's fought nobody, and he's fighting nobody. Gamboa was a nobody. Tank, I mean, look, he has a fight, right? He beats a good fighter, in his own right, but a smaller guy in Leo Santa Cruz. Career best win, it has to be said. And he fucking goes and is alleged to be in a hit run. I mean, fuck. It's just like Spence last year. Has probably the best win of his career, you know, if you want to argue it, next to Kell Brook, but in a unification. And he goes and crashes his Ferrari drink driving. I mean, these guys just, they really just, these Al Heyman guys, GM. I will support Hughie in any fight, which means he can get barbers. yeah, we're all supporting Hughie Fury. Hughie Fury and Dave Allen. Any fight where we think they're going to get battered, they'll have our undivided attention. Bets are on Deontay Wilder will retire. There's no way back for him. Oh man, he's so delusional. He's so fucking delusional, though, that lad. He'll think so. He'll make some bullshit up. You know what he's like. If Hughie Fury picks up the world, it would make me question everything. If he did, it would make me question everything about boxing. I just look and be like, how? I'd be like, how? How? That I couldn't see it. I couldn't. I question every fucking thing about boxing if I saw Hughie Fury as world champion. Imagine that. I couldn't see it, man. Hughie have it, no Fury. Yes, Hughie have it, no. Oh yeah, Yoka versus Fury 2025 for the world title. You heard it here on G-Man stream here, peeps. You heard it here first. Hughie Fury versus Yoka 2025 for the world title. Is it for undisputed unification? We shall see. Big up, G-Man. You sincerely believe Wild doesn't want the third fight? I don't think he does at all. I can't see it. I don't think he does. And wants nothing to do with Fury. He's trying to save face. He doesn't want another ass whooping. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? The way he lets the contract run out and then all of a sudden, he comes out of hiding and he's like, I want the fight now. You know, the contracts ran out, but yeah, I want the fight now. His team just want to cash him out Tyrell Big style. They want that Tyrell Big style cash out and say, fuck you, give us our money and then be gone. That's it. This has been a big debate amongst me and my boxing mates. What's your top 5 lightweights of all time or right now? In terms of right now, you got to put Teofimo at number 1, right? I would still put Loma at number 2. I think he beats Tank. I think he beats Haney. I think he beats Garcia. I put Garcia at number 3 because I think he'll beat Haney. Tank number 4 and Haney number 5. That's the way I have it. Prime Lewis versus Prime Bo. Who wins? Oh, man. I go back and forth on this fight so much. Part of me, one week I say Lewis because I look at Bo and I look at his defense and he is such a bad defense. It's unreal. But then the next minute, I just look at the skill of Bo, and when he's on it, he is on it. If I had to, if that fight was made in 1994, we'll say, and I was alive and I was covering boxing, I had to give a prediction. Right now, Bo. That's a tough one. No, I just go with Bo. I am a fan of Riddick Bo as well, but I would just favor Bo. But I go back and forth. I think about that fight a lot, and I'm just thinking Bo Lewis, and then I'm like 1 minute I'm like maybe Lewis, and he's the ambit, but then I'm thinking Bo. Oh man, I wish it's a shame we never seen it. Eddie Futch admitted that he didn't want that fight. He blocked it. Well, he didn't. Not that he didn't want it, but he didn't think Bo was ready for it. The only reason we're talking about Huey is because, oh Jesus, yeah. If it wasn't for Huey, if it wasn't for the last name Fury, then that's the end of him. His goose is cooked. His goose is cooked. Huey can win a world. Oh yeah, if they pull another, yeah, I can't see that happening anytime soon. Did that before AJ beat Povetkin. All right. When will this golden era heavyweight finish? Will it last as long? Maybe, because we've got some good up and coming prospects. It's not like the last one where, well, the 2000s where we had Vladimir and Vitaly and we had fat cruiserweights, basically, and guys who were just no good. Think about it. Everyone will be retired when he's in his prime at 31. No, and Huey Fury will be irrelevant because he'll have had probably about 5 or 6 losses by then. Oh God, oh God, oh God, no. Oh God, no, man. Jesus, no. Pricey versus Fury. Oh Lord, have mercy. That 20. Yeah, man, that is looking a good card. I was worried they wouldn't keep it now. To be fair, I was worried that was a worry. They had me worried there that they wouldn't keep it. I actually worried they wouldn't keep it. I thought they'd get rid of it, and I was like, they shouldn't get rid of it because there's good fights to be had on that card. There's plenty of good fights on it. But they had me worried because I was thinking, like, maybe they're just not. But they're putting it on Sky Fight Night, so we get some boxing, which is good. Which is good. We got boxing on this weekend as well, which is good this weekend as well. Fight I'm going to be telling you is right, and I think I told you about it already at the start of this stream. Evenji Tsenko. He's a cruiserweight, 7-0. He's fighting a Scottish guy called John McCallum. He is going to beat the living piss out of John McCallum. John McCallum is a drunk and a narcissist and a fool. He is going to get battered tomorrow night. All right? He's the guy who fought Leon McKenzie and was making fun of Leon McKenzie for having like anxiety or something like that. An idiot of the highest order. He's going to get battered tomorrow. And I'm not saying that because I actually do rate. If you ever seen Tsenko fight, he's quite good. And Yevgeny Ramon is fighting as well tomorrow. The guy who knocked out Wilder in the amateurs, he's fighting Lahovic. I'm surprised he's still around, Lahovic. I mean, like, he was finished when he got knocked out by Briggs. That was 2007. And it's 2020 now, lads. Jesus. Jesus, people. Where was I? I clicked on a thing. Oh, yeah. Love Bo, but he pissed me off how he ducked that. We should have seen it, but we didn't, unfortunately. Look up Sam Langford. Hell of a fight. They're all, literally. Harry Grabe, Jimmy Wild. Love Jimmy Wild. The great flyweight, Jimmy Wild. Would have been a great matchup. It would have. Let's go with your top 5. Yeah, 1 Tio, 2 Tank, 3 Loma. Really? Haney, Campbell. Okay, well, the Campbell Garcia winner, but I think Garcia, but it's still a good one. Dwyer said best legs in the heavyweight division. I don't know about that. No, Usyk has better legs than Usyk's definitely got better legs. The better act, yeah, he's got the best acne in the heavyweight division. The better Huey Fury's acne gets, the worse his boxing is. Yeah, well, he's got the best acne in the heavyweight division. Do you see David Hayes' interview where he said White called him out after the second Pavek? Where is it? Yeah, I think Hay would have. Oh, back in the day, David Hay would have countered Dillian White to death. He would have had a field day with him. Huey versus White. Oh no. Stinker of a fight, lads. Right, lads. Tell you what, I'm going to call this one quits here, right? It is now 20 to 10. Been on for about an hour and a half. Lads, what a chat we've had. Made my fucking Friday, right? It's been a shitty week. Ain't going to beat around the bush. Been a shitty week. And yeah, I'm fucking stoked that I got this chat in. So we got a good hour and a half. We talked about boxing, right? We talked about Huey Fury. We talked about boxing. Huey does have feet, but sometimes he's got to do something off to set the movement. I mean, all he does is move. All he fucking does is move. We all said Huey Fury is born, but yeah, we thought, yeah, no, which is the ironic thing. But look at me, Dell, and Mark last week or the week before. We all said the same. We all were ridiculing the guy. What's his name? Lovejoy. But we couldn't stop talking about him because he was so funny. But people, I'm going to call it quits here. Been on for an hour and a half. Lads, like I said, it's been a shit week. But man, I enjoyed this. I enjoy doing these live streams. I might take the weekend off from a live stream and do one, maybe one of the days next week. Whenever, we love this. Hashtag GMANSROCKS. It's not going anywhere. We still keeping that. We still keeping the faith with GMANSROCKS. We keep that going. We never give up on that. And you enjoyed this, mate. When's the next one? I normally do one on a Sunday, right? But I might leave this Sunday free. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Sunday or Monday, definitely. Sunday or Monday. GMANSROCKS later. GMANSROCKS. It's GMANSROCKS. You got to get the S in there after man. GMANSROCKS. Great stuff. Big up, G. Smash the like button on the way out. Peace. Lads, I appreciate it all, man. Yous are fucking amazing. Every single one of yous. GMANSROCKS. You got to love the GMANSROCKS every time. Enjoyed it. Peace as always. Lads, appreciate yous all. Made my Friday, made my day. I'll talk to yous, lads, right? Before I go, big everyone else up, and we'll leave it with a GMANSROCKS. There we go. Peace, lads. I'll talk to yous. I'm out.